Well, hello everybody. This is the Michael Batson Show. The top 10 quarterback rankings for 2022 came out a week ago. The ESPN published them. So I'll break it down and tell you what I think about it. So if you haven't heard, I'll break down the list. It's 1 Rodgers, 2 Mahomes. Mahomes first year in the past 3 years he's been 1. He's 2 this year. 3 Josh Allen, 4 Brady, 5 Burrow, 6 Stafford, 7 Herbert, 8 Russell Wilson, 9 Deshaun Watson, and 10 Dak for the Cowboys. So one thing that stands out is Watson, 9, that hasn't played in 3 years, new organization, over Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he's fast, maybe inconsistent, but he deserves to be top 10. When you're with him, you have a chance of winning any game. And then Kyler Murray, signing him to a $230 million 5-year deal, saying that's our quarterback. I feel like he'd be better than Watson, that literally hasn't played in 2 years. His talent from Kyler Murray, you've seen it. He's inconsistent, right? He's hurt a little bit of time, but Kyler Murray has so much talent. And Watson at 9, it just doesn't really make sense because of the standpoint of he hasn't played in 2 years, right? We don't know if he's gonna play this year because of sexual assault allegations. He has to at least be suspended for probably at least 3 games because all the sexual assault allegations. Watson's coming into a new team this year, new coaches. He hasn't played in 2 years. He'll be rusty, and on top of that, he comes into the Browns, which isn't the Patriots or some team that is a QB factory. This is the Browns. Known for not having good QBs or having good QBs and then wasting their talent going to Cleveland. So the matchup Watson's facing is just not there. So first, the trial is set to begin, I think, next Wednesday, and several insiders have said that Watson has to receive at least a suspension. 6 games, they say, is average. 3 is a minimum. So I think it's about 3 games to 6 games, maybe 8 games, the suspension. So then when he comes back, he has to reschedule with all his coaches. He doesn't know them, right? He hasn't really been with the team because of these court cases and legal action. And Watson also, the Cleveland Browns have lost players, right? So Landry and Beckham have moved on. Landry is with the Saints, and Beckham have also moved on. And let's not forget, the star pair on this team 3 years ago, was Landry, Beckham, Chubb, and obviously Baker. And now Baker, Landry, Beckham have all kind of moved on and all kind of been out of their prime, for 1 or 2 years, maybe not Baker, but definitely Landry and Beckham. Their wide receiver core does still have Donovan Peoples-Jones, Amari Cooper, but that's not going to cut it in the NFL, especially when you'll have a struggling QB, Deshaun, for the first few weeks. But their running back 1-2 punch is great. They have Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, probably the best 1-2 punch for running backs in the league. I'd say so they have weapons on offense, but Landry and Beckham aren't there, so the veterans aren't there. Cooper is a veteran, but he's coming into the first-year system. Peoples-Jones is young, so the skill positions kind of are inconsistent right now. And then my problem with putting Jackson not ahead of him is that Jackson already knows a coach. He has skilled players that he already knows: Marquise Brown, Marcus Andrews, and he's been there for what, 5 years now. So Jackson not included. Same with Kyler Murray. He has experience. Head coach maybe not who he wants, but but I mean, he has Christian Kirk, so the skill players are there too. So I mean, so Watson putting him at 9 when he hasn't played in 2 years, and might be rusty, and Cleveland really isn't the best place to go when you're rusty QB that will be suspended, and then so it's not looking good for Watson. I mean, the upside is there for Watson. You saw in college, a national championship he won. He won the Heisman Trophy, NFL. He had 3 straight Pro Bowls, passing leader in 21. So the ceiling is high for him, but the low is low, you could say, because obviously you don't know when he's gonna come back. He hasn't played. The receivers are inexperienced and inconsistent. Donovan Peoples-Jones as a wide receiver too isn't great. He has the running backs, but what is this saying for the Cardinals organization if you just signed $234 million 5 years and Kyler Murray is not top 10? I mean, Kyler Murray I'd put at 9. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, it's a toss-up, right? Both are young superstars. Both are in their prime right now. Both, I think, are 25, 26. So both are in their prime. Both are shifting fast. But both have had injuries, right? Jackson had it last year. Murray have had it the last few years. So very similar QBs. I think if I had to pick between the two of them, I think I'd pick Murray because he seems more inconsistent. His deep ball is better. Jackson, he can run, but his throwing is sometimes inconsistent. So my list would be Watson out. Too much of an incapability. I'd put Kyler Murray at 9. I'd keep Dak at 10. Good spot. He's talented. Obviously, he has to figure some stuff out, and Jackson will be 11. I mean, maybe then Watson at 12, but it's a toss-up because then you get into QBs like Ryan Tannehill, maybe Justin Fields, Mac Jones, but I think Jackson and Watson, especially Watson, is a stretch that haven't played in 2 years. But then Wilson at 8, that's high for a guy that's first year now. Denver doesn't really have many skilled players, but the coaching staff is great. He's a veteran, big market, good fans. So Wilson, I'll put at 8 only because he's a veteran. He's been in Super Bowls. He knows what it takes. Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen, Brady, Burrow. Those 5 are a pretty good list. Brady's getting old, so 4 I'd keep him at. Stafford, Herbert. Good list. Just Watson, I think, is a stretch. Dak, I think, is perfectly a 10. Dak is good when he's good and bad when he's bad. Good times he had and bad times he has throughout his career. So pretty good list here. Watson, I'd move out for Kyler Murray. Just signed that big deal. Confidence is up. I'll put him at 9. He's a rich man now. Jackson, just too inconsistent, but close 11 to Dak. Watson's a stretch at 9. Thanks so much for listening. A new video will be posted tomorrow, I think, so stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe for more sports action. Thanks so much.